Velasquez. The senior assistant referee is Shane Kinner. The junior assistant referee is Joshua Pennington. And the fourth official is Daniel Ortega. Here now is the starting lineup for this evening's opponent, Sacramento Republic FC. Team captain, defender number 22, Jeremy Hall. In goal, defender number 1, Josh Cohen. Defender number 4, Mitchell Tainter. Defender number 5, Justin Schmidt. Defender number 26, Elliot Ford. Midfielder number 2, Shannon Gomez. Midfielder number 20, Billion Egypt. Midfielder number 24, Jaime Villarreal. Midfielder number 11, Luis Espino. Forward number 9, Christian Isley. And forward number 31, Cameron Iwasa. Sacramento is coached by Simon Elliott. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup for your home team. Team captain, defender number 4, Rad Evans. In goal, number 18, Eric Dick. Defender number 44, Parker Marr. Defender number 16, Graham Smith. Defender number 23, Colton Storr. Midfielder number 86, Roman Knox. Midfielder number...
Are heating up, and so too is the playoff race in the Western Conference of the USL. These are two teams that are vying for position near the top. The Swope Park Rangers taking on Sacramento Republic FC coming up next. Rangers taking on Sacramento Republic FC coming up next. Welcome to Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas, where the Swope Park Rangers play host to Sacramento Republic FC this evening, joined by Sam Cobson. I am Carter Augustine. We'll bring you all the action in this Western Conference battle as the Swope Park Rangers currently sit in 4th, but they have a chance to draw level with Reno 1868 and points. And likewise, Sam, Sacramento Republic could move above the Swope Park Rangers. They're currently in 6th, but with the result today, could move above SPR for the time being. It's starting to get really interesting in the Western Conference.
That's right, Carter. A very fascinating midweek Western Conference matchup we have in our hands. Swope Park Rangers, winners in 4 of their last 5 games. Sacramento Republic, a team that we're used to seeing in the top half of the Western Conference standings. They're looking for their first win in 5, however. So delicately poised tonight here at Children's Mercy Park.
So let's maybe look at who could star for these respective teams, and it's a familiar face for Swope Park Rangers fans. Cameron Iwasa with SPR and Sporting Kansas City last year, but he's the main man for Sacramento Republic this year.
That's right. Iwasa back where he spent most of 2017, and he's found his scoring boots this year with Sacramento. 8 goals in all competitions, the USL's leader in shot attempts. And he's 1 shy of tying Sacramento's all-time scoring record in USL play. Iwasa's a real menace in attack when he's in the mood.
Meanwhile, for the home side and head coach Paulo Nagamura, they can look to a youngster who really had a good game last week, Felipe Hernandez.
Felipe Hernandez coming off a standout performance last Thursday against Seattle. Scored an absolute peach of a goal and was deservedly named to the USL Team of the Week today. Can the Sporting KC Academy Prada keep that momentum going here in the friendly confines of Kansas City?
So these two looking to star for their respective teams. Who will join them in the starting lineups? We'll find out next, as well as kickoff between Swope Park Rangers and Sacramento Republic FC. That's all coming up as you're watching some special Tuesday night soccer in the USL Western Conference. Welcome into Children's Mercy Park, where the Swope Park Rangers are getting set to face Sacramento Republic FC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup, starting with the visitors. The head coach, Simon Elliott, making 3 changes from a quick turnaround. Sacramento Republic just playing on Saturday. Out go Moffitt, Nisha, and Majasic. In come William Bija. That's a big return. Jaime Villarreal and Christian Isley.
We mentioned Iwasa in the outset, and I think your eyes have to stay up top with the likes of Luis Espino, Christian Isley, and the always dangerous attacking playmaker William Bija. Sacramento has just 4 goals to show from their last 8 games. So I think a big key tonight is how that attacking core fares against the Rangers side that hasn't lost at home since August.
Let's take a look at that Rangers side led by head coach Paolo Nagamura. They make 4 changes to the team that won 2-0 last Thursday in Seattle. So a little bit extra rest as well for the Rangers as they come into this one. Of course, an enforced change with Mateus Silva being suspended. But Carlton Belmar back in the lineup. He's got 9 goals in 9 games for SPR.
He's been fantastic when he's been in a Swope Park Rangers uniform this season. We expect that form to continue tonight. Averaging a goal a game is Carlton Belmar.
He's in the side, as is a new center back partnership of Graham Smith and Brad Evans. Roman Knox, the 4th change for Paolo Nagamura coming into this one. And we are underway. Referee Rubio Vasquez getting us started with Sacramento Republic. Starting with possession, they'll be going from right to left, wearing gray, white stripes, gray shorts. There's some nice hold-up play already. Cameron Iwasa, Sacramento Republic, moving it along now to the left-hand side. Swope Park Rangers in their traditional home dark blue with blue stripes. Got a couple of striped teams here matching up. And a rematch of last year's Western Conference semifinal as well. Here's Carlton Belmar getting on the ball. The first bit of action for the SPR attack, and hands to his face as he thought he had Chase Minter sprinting along down that left-hand side.
We mentioned Carlton Belmar, Carter, and he was the man who decided that playoff match in this very stadium last October between these sides, the Western Conference semifinal matchup. 1-0 in favor of SPR with Carlton Belmar's first half goal. 25 times that man has put the ball in the back of the net for Swope Park Rangers in his career, most in club history. Sacramento will certainly have their eyes on him throughout the evening.
Of course, a little warmer this evening than it was back on that Western Conference semifinal night. And the Swope Park Rangers heating up in the summer as well. Winners of 4 of their last 5, including a shorthanded victory against Seattle Sounders 2 this past Thursday, Sam. And they're without Mateus Selva. He received a red card in the 21st minute, but somehow the Rangers able to come away with the victory out there in Seattle.
In many ways, Carter, it's been the story of the Rangers season. No matter how much roster turnover there's been, whether it's been injuries or players on loan from Sporting Kansas City, as you see BJ have a go from distance there.
Nice little layoff, and now Iwasa charging forward into the area. Withstands a physical challenge from Brad Evans, and that's a corner kick for Sacramento Republic. We'll get back to the Swope Park Rangers here in a little bit. Sam Cobson, but good move from Sacramento here.
That's a matchup I'll be looking forward to watching all night long. Brad Evans, the MLS veteran, playing on loan here from Sporting Kansas City, going up against Cameron Iwasa.
Quickly taking corner, and there's Evans again. This time heading clear from the set piece. Now it's on the right-hand side. Delicious looking cross in towards the back post. Marr tried to clear it. Belmar has to block Bijev's attempt on goal. It's a positive start for Sacramento Republic.
Certainly is. As we mentioned, this is a team where the goals have dried up somewhat over the last month or so as the temperatures have risen. But with the quality that this team has, I look specifically at Vilian Bijev, one of the best playmakers for my money in the United Soccer League. I think when you have him in the lineup with an informed striker such as Cameron Iwasa, and then you throw in Espino, Isley, guys who have put the ball in the back of the net this season, I think Republic FC will look at tonight as a good opportunity to get back on track in the attacking third.
Winless in 4, the visitors, but they did get a good result against Western Conference leaders, Real Monarchs, on Saturday in that 0-0 draw at home for Sacramento. Belmar has it poked away by Shannon Gomez. So these two teams coming off different challenges. SPR playing Seattle Sounders 2, who are at the bottom of the Western Conference. Sacramento coming off that 0-0 against conference leaders. Here go SPR now with the ball, having to withstand an early rush from Sacramento. There's good pressure from Luis Espino, forces that pass to go all the way out of play.
I think that was maybe a pass that Parker Marr should have stepped up to meet. As Graham Smith played it out left there. Graham Smith making his first Rangers appearance tonight since earning his Sporting KC debut on June 23rd. That was a 3-2 MLS victory over the Houston Dynamo, in which Graham Smith certainly made a positive impression playing all 90 minutes.
There's a loose ball in midfield that Mitchell Taintor has to be aware of. He is, and luckily for Sacramento, he's got a toe to start in on this attack now. Iwasa inviting the challenge. It's a good step from Parker Marr. Looked like Espino might be in some space there along the right-hand side.
It's a good play there from Parker Marr. Heads up defending. Half a step slow there was Iwasa, spreading that ball right to Espino.
They're going to look for Espino again here. This time diagonal attempted by Justin Schmidt, but that'll drift out of play. So quickly taken throw now for SPR along the far side. There's Haji Berry getting involved for the first time. Sam, this is going to be an interesting battle between these two teams because both these teams like to keep hold of the ball. SPR have lost their title as the top passing team in the league momentarily behind Charlotte Independence, but they should overtake the Independence with a normal outlay of passes here this evening. And Sacramento Republic, they're just around the top 5 as well.
I think it's going to make for an aesthetically pleasing game. I think we've already seen so far, certainly not cagey by any means. I think both sides will put their best foot forward. This is a Sacramento side, Carter, we've already mentioned. 2 draws and 2 losses in their last 4 league games, winless in 5 overall in all competitions. They're going to be wanting all 3 points tonight. This isn't going to be a customary away performance where the opponent comes in and sits back. as we can see already.
Certainly haven't done any type of sitting back. In fact, they've been on the front foot. Sacramento, here's a good attack down the right-hand side. Sliding challenge by Marr, breaks it up. But Espino looking lively, and there he got no overlap from his fullback, Elliott Hurd.
Yeah, we've already seen Sacramento target that right flank on multiple occasions so far. Parker Marr, it's been a busy first 6.5 minutes for him.
Here's Bijev getting in a good area, and he'll stand it up. There's a, well, it looked like a great ball, and it just bounced over the head of the diminutive Luis Espino.
Yeah, diminutive indeed. Is Espino's height working against him there. And he probably would have been better served and coming toward that ball, getting a foot on it. But nevertheless, that's a good look from Bijev, as we'll probably see him spraying those diagonal balls throughout the night.
Well, he's listed at 5'4", Luis Espino.
And a decent pair of shoes, perhaps.
Just wouldn't sit down for him on that pass. Just trying to run onto it. So Swope Park Rangers escaped, because it did look like he was in a ton of space. Here he is picking up the ball again on that right-hand side, Espino. Looking for the cross to Bijev. It's a good one as well. Perhaps Storm putting off Bijev just a little bit there, but decent cross to the back post. Now Bijev chasing it down and forcing a throw. Well, you talk about him. That's a fantastic playmaker. His 3 assists tied for the team lead. Excuse me. William Bijev comes from a wonderful background, of course, signing with Liverpool at age 18. Seen some action for USA and Bulgarian youth national teams. Here's Marr charging in field, and some patient play from the youngster Roman Knox there. Now Storm's going to invite the speed of Carlton Belmar. Well, it's just about matched there by Shannon Gomez.
That's excellent stuff there from Shannon Gomez. Made it look easy, shouldering off Belmar there. Gomez, of course, spent the previous 2 seasons with New York City FC, so no questioning his pedigree. Trinidad and Tobago international. That's a speedy matchup there on the near side, with Belmar going up against Gomez.
Belmar back in the side. He's got 9 goals in 9 coming into this, his 10th game, and all starts for SPR. He spent some time with Sporting Kansas City as well this season. Those 9 goals good for a tie for the Golden Boot as it stands in USL. 6-way tie now. Can he be the first to double digits this season? Here's Iwasa. Just seeing a little space open up in front of him, so he elects to take on the shot, but it's charged down by Graham Smith.
Carter, in calling Rangers games last season, we saw Cameron Iwasa not afraid to have it go from distance, as we saw there. Put in some absolute bangers in 2017 for this Rangers side. The likes of Roman Knox in that holding midfield role, and then obviously the 2 center halves. Brad Evans, Graham Smith will not want to give him too much room anywhere within 30 yards of goal.
Well, there could have been a rip-roaring counterattack for the Rangers. Blackwood just not able to connect his pass with Chase Minter there, as it looked like the Rangers might be off. So Sacramento enjoying a lot of the ball here in the early stages. Settled down in midfield there by Jaime Villarreal, and he's found Elliott Horde. There's Villarreal, of course, well experienced in USL as well, coming over from the Galaxy organization. He's making his 16th start for Sacramento this season. And there he's a little overzealous in his challenge on Felipe Hernandez, who, well, we pointed him out at the beginning of the broadcast, Sam Cobson, but that's really the first time we've seen Felipe Hernandez get involved in the game this evening after 10 minutes.
It is, and you could probably say the same of Chase Minter. I would say that right at this point in time, Sacramento's winning that midfield battle. They've controlled the Lions' share possession so far. SPR has yet to really settle in with the ball comfortably. I think you'd have to credit head coach Simon Elliott's side for creating those difficult conditions for the hosts.
Sacramento played all the way back to Josh Cohen. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. There's Christian Isley trying to post up on Graham Smith, but you see the strength there and the anticipation from Graham Smith, making his 12th start for the Rangers. He did make his MLS debut on this very field less than a month ago.
I think what this Sporting Kansas City technical staff likes about Graham Smith, Carter, is his ability not only to defend, and he's got an ideal physical skill set as a center half, in that he stands around 6'2", 180, 190, very strong in the air, but he can play with his feet. At the University of Denver, he was a defensive midfielder for a lot of his time there. And being that pivot in the holding midfield, you really obviously have to possess plenty of foot skills and be very adept at spreading the ball around. And I think Graham Smith is certainly capable of doing just that. When you're the Rangers and when you're Sporting Kansas City, you have a system in which you rely so heavily on possession. It's very important that your center backs are accurate and precise with distributing the ball around and functioning really as that first step in building up field.
Graham Smith, despite only playing 11 games coming into this one, he's in the top 10 in passing in the league. That speaks to Sam's point of building from the back. Here's a foul against the Rangers, as Sacramento, they've been trying to build from the back, and at the moment doing a good job of playing it around that SPR press.
Carter, when I think of this Sacramento Republic team, I think that they've been really synonymous with success here in the USL over the last 5 seasons. They've made the playoffs every year since 2014, since their inception. You see a long ball over the top.
Isley chesting it down, edge of the area. That's a decent strike. Takes a deflection as well. Jaime Villarreal just charging onto that one. That's not a half bad attempt on the half volley.
It really isn't, and it was well done from Isley, I think, to bring this ball down. As Justin Schmidt lifts it over the top. Nice chested ball down into the path, and it takes a deflection that gives Sacramento this corner.
Second corner of the match, and it's to the back post. Screams for a handball there from Sacramento players. Nothing given, so second phase now, back into the mixer. Headed away by Knox. And now Blackwood gets a touch to it. And he can try and release Felipe Hernandez here. Excellent defensive work, though, on the far side. Quite see who that was tracking back. I think that's Jeremy Hall. And that's what you've come to expect from Jeremy Hall. He's played in every game for Sacramento. There he is, just on the cover, breaking up any sort of counter-attacking ideas that the Rangers had.
Yeah, really a consummate pro, Jeremy Hall. More than 100 games played at the MLS level with several clubs in the first division. And now a mainstay for Sacramento Republic, where he's really helped carry this mantle of winning into 2018. And as we mentioned just a moment ago, Sacramento, a perennial playoff team, USL champions in 2014. And certainly, Carter, you would have to think here in the near future, certainly a strong candidate for MLS expansion, but one of the more realistic ones as well. There are a lot of terrific soccer cities in this country. Be fascinating to see the immediate future of Sacramento and soccer in the city.
Here's Hall just missing out on that tackle, and that leads to a breakaway for the Swope Park Rangers. Blackwood cutting inside, jukes past the defender, slices it with the left. It's a mishit clearance off Shannon Gomez, but Sacramento able to clear their lines in the end.
It's brilliant stuff there from Tyler Blackwood. Left his defender in the dust there. Might have been better off shooting, nonetheless.
So to Belmar, around 2, now around a third. Belmar in the area. His cross blocked, and you see some of the explosiveness from each of the Swope Park Rangers wingers on back-to-back possessions there.
Well, how about the individual quality shown there by Tyler Blackwood and Carlton Belmar, both successfully beating their defenders 1v1. It's a good recovery there in the end by Schmidt, and it had to be.
Gomez sticking with it as well, and he slides in to block. But here's a corner kick, the first of the game for the Rangers. Minter up towards the spot. Oh, Graham Smith rose well, but just couldn't direct his header on frame.
We saw Graham Smith nearly score off a corner kick for Sporting Kansas City a few weeks ago. He peels off of his man here. That's a pretty clean look. Just cannot quite steer it on frame.
Good step now from Iwasa. This game's got some good pace about it. First time flick on. Iwasa charging forward, and Dick has to be alert. Eric Dick called into action there. So this is starting to stretch here, this game. Barry settles it down, and chance to breathe for the Swope Park Rangers, and they like breathing with the ball in their possession. We talk about Sacramento Republic, what a wonderful fan support they have out there, and still the record for people who have seen a Swope Park Rangers game live is in Sacramento.
Can't say enough about that fan base and that organization out west. Packing Papa Murphy's Park, night in, night out, more than 11,000. It's an environment, Carter, that I think has contributed to the club's success. Night in, night out, when you have that type of support at the USL level, it's always going to give you a leg up.
It's supported the league success as well. Sacramento, one of the beacon franchises in USL. Here they have a throw deep in the Swope Park Rangers defensive half. Posting up is Villarreal, a few touches, and flicks it towards the top of the box. Minter heads it only as far as Hall. Here is Shannon Gomez, cutting it inside, looking for Iwasa. He looks up for it today. Iwasa spreads it wide for Bijev, first time cross, and big shout from keeper Eric Dick, the 6'5" first-round draft pick for Sporting Kansas City in this year's Super Draft.
Been off to a good start, hasn't he, Eric Dick? 0.83 goals against average in 6 starts, 3 shutouts.
Offside there from Isley as he gets an apologetic hand from Mitchell Taintor, who really read that play well, but I think you can tell by his apology he just delayed the pass a little bit too much for Mitchell Isley, or excuse me, Christian Isley. Here is the aforementioned Eric Dick. Comfortable with his feet there, comfortable enough, and he's found a good out pass as well to Belmar.
Whether Dick meant to pick out Belmar there is one question, but he certainly did well to do so under pressure there.
Pressure on Belmar forces a turnover, and now Bijev spinning in behind Colton Storm. The ball just drifts out of play. He's popped out on the left-hand side of the Sacramento attack here today. Interesting setup from Sacramento today, Sam. We weren't sure what the formation would be like, if Cameron Iwasa would lead the line or who would lead the line for that man, Simon Elliott. He's been playing a little deeper, though, hasn't he, Cameron Iwasa?
He has been. It's been Isley so far who's been the most advanced, and Cameron Iwasa kind of sitting in behind Isley. We'll see how that unfolds throughout the game. You'd imagine that Sacramento will have some flexibility in terms of how they deploy that attack.
Iwasa coming into one of those deeper positions, trying to flick it forward for Isley. Brett Evans just taking his time, and he'll pass it back to Eric Dick. Strong Sporting connection along the back line with Eric Dick, Colton Storm. And here's a bad turnover. Roman Knox has given it away. Iwasa now in the area. Kick save, Eric Dick. He's kept it scoreless here when it should be 1-0. Still in the box. And they'll drift all the way out for Carlton Belmar. And Cameron Iwasa disappointed with himself. He did everything right up until the finish.
And we're going to credit Eric Dick with the fantastic kick save, putting the Rangers in a safe position there. Huge sigh of relief for the hosts. But as you said, Cameron Iwasa will wish he had done better. He'll be thinking about that chance tonight when he goes to sleep. Now it's Rangers. Belmar drawing a foul.
Let's go back to that wonderful save from Eric Dick off a really bad turnover in a poor area. Here's Dick just playing it forward to Knox, and it's a poor giveaway from Eric Dick, but he makes amends.
Yeah, Dick atones for his mistake. That straight pass to Roman Knox, but makes up for it with a huge kick save there to keep us scoreless.
Boy, you would have bet on Cameron Iwasa putting that one home, playing against his former club and the way he started here this evening. But Carlton Belmar up the other end has earned this free kick for the Swope Park Rangers. He's looked dangerous as well. It's a handful in those 1v1 situations. And just cutting inside, he's won this free kick. Minter whips it in with some pace. Doesn't beat Jaime Villarreal though, and then it's hooked clear by Justin Schmidt.
Talk about Chase Minter, someone who's really settled into this SPR team. Enjoyed a strong run of form, 2 USL Team of the Week selections over the last month or so. You look at the goals and assists, just 1 assist to show for the season, but a team best 23 chances created entering tonight.
Barry getting isolated in a one-on-one. He leaves his defender in the dust, cuts it back for Belmar, edge of the box, and he fires over. But it's looked really dangerous when the Swope Park Rangers have gotten their wingers in wide positions in these 1v1 situations.
Well, Carter, it's a 3 Bs up top. Blackwood, Belmar, and then there, Haji Berry making mincemeat of his defender there. A couple step overs, just leaving his guy in the dust. Cutback ball. Asking a little bit too much from Belmar at the end of the day, but nevertheless, some excellent individual quality shown by that 3-pronged attack up top for the Rangers, and now looks like Barry is down.
One of those killer bees you were just talking about. Killer bees in the swarm. And Haji Berry, I believe he got this knock when he went forward into that attack just moments ago. Tried to come back here on his defensive duties, and this is a worrying sign for the Swope Park Rangers. Let's take a look at what happened with Haji Berry. Maybe it wasn't on that attack, maybe it was on that play right there.
Yeah, there's no contact between players there, Carter. An innocuous situation. Something you certainly don't like to see. Haji Berry, the only Rangers player to play every game this season, all 17. He started 16 of them. We'll see if he's okay to continue. We've got some reinforcements there for the Rangers warming up on the sideline.
Not what you like to see. The Rangers will be hoping he can continue on. Haji Berry, like you said, played in every single game. He's the only one of the Swope Park Rangers this year to do that. His 1,432 minutes leads the team. Haji Berry just coming off a game in which he scored on a PK as well against Seattle to give him his 6th goal of the season. Looks, at least for the time being, to try and give this one a run out. 25 minutes played. Still scoreless here between the Swope Park Rangers and Sacramento Republic. A poor giveaway from the Republic. And Roman Knox pouncing on that one in midfield. Storm heading it on to Barry, and that was a chance for Barry to stay on side there. Just couldn't do it.
It was a good idea there from Colton Storm. He saw the run that Barry was making, cushioned a header into his path, and heads up play from the right back, Colton Storm. How about this? 2 goals, 3 assists this season from Colton Storm in 10 games at the right back spot. You extrapolate that over a 30-game season. 6 goals, 9 assists.
It's good math, Sam Cobson.
He's not a math major, but good enough to do the computation there. Colton Storm, pretty solid second season here, on loan from Sporting Kansas City.
There's the high press, and Felipe Hernandez wins it away. Tyler Blackwood in the one-on-one. Back now with Hernandez. Cutting inside on the left, just wide. The high press from the Swope Park Rangers almost leads to the first goal of the game.
Hernandez does everything right here. He wins the ball, plays it to Blackwood, receives it again. He gets enough separation from Schmidt and curls it just wide of that far post. Decent look there from the Sporting KC Academy product.
Well, we've seen this a few times now, Sam. Sacramento Republic trying to build from the back, but they almost gave it away on a few occasions. This time it is a poor giveaway from the Republic deep in their own half.
We've seen it from both teams now. As we've mentioned, these are two teams that like to possess the ball, and sometimes an unintended byproduct of that is turnovers in your own half. We saw Eric Dick's stray pass intended for Roman Knox that was picked off by Iwasa a few moments ago. So oftentimes it's not what you necessarily create on your own, it's what you can force the opponent to self-inflict. Both teams have self-inflicted to a degree thus far, neither has been punished just yet.
Here are Sacramento again playing it back under pressure. Taintor back to Josh Cohen. And they've done well to break the press, as Bijev does really nicely to invite Gomez into the attack. Gomez leaves his pass short for Bijev, and now away go the Swope Park Rangers. Haji Berry looking for Blackwood on this near side. Blackwood twisting and turning. And to his right now, just being ushered towards the sideline by Schmidt. And in the end, Blackwood just dribbles himself into a cul-de-sac. Good defending there by Justin Schmidt.
It was. Schmidt has certainly been put to the test early on. Belmar, Blackwood, Berry all looking very active up top. A lot of individual challenges between him and those SPR attackers.
Roman Knox starting to grow into the game. He's seen some time in that holding midfield role, which I think a lot of the coaches in this Sporting KC SPR setup really envision Roman Knox having a future as the 6.
It's such a big test for him, isn't it? He's 18 years old, Roman Knox. You talk about that number 6 holding midfield position, so integral to everything that SPR predicates itself on, and that you have to have defensive discipline. Your positioning needs to be flawless, and obviously your distribution as a passer needs to be spot on. And for my money, it might be the most important position on the field for Roman Knox at 18 years young to be stepping into those shoes. Pretty impressive stuff. His 7th appearance tonight for the Rangers, his 4th start.
Clever little turn there from Berry. Got a yell from Carlton Belmar, but he tried to lay it off for Colton Storm. Just a little too heavy with the right back making a underlapping run there. Looked like a dangerous attack for the Rangers, but it goes begging. Iwasa is being crowded out by 2, now 3, now 4 Rangers players, and he's able to keep possession. Good play by Cameron Iwasa there. Gomez on the near side, now with Bijev. Colton Storm comes over to usher that one out of play. As you mentioned, Storm with those 2 goals and 3 assists in his 10 games coming into this one. Also a former first-round pick for Sporting KC. Villarreal gets a shout there from Bijev, leaves the back heel into the near post. That was blocked away by Graham Smith. And look at Christian Isley. He must have thought he scored there with the header.
Smith does just enough here to throw off Isley. That's a terrific cross in from Bijev. We're going to see this again as he whips it in with his left foot. Terrific ball played in. Smith putting his body on the line there.
Really well read. Looked like Isley had gotten the run across his marker. Smith does just enough we've seen a couple of these near misses for each team so far. 0-0 is the score, but the game has certainly opened up.
It certainly has. I think Sacramento has maybe had a few more chances that have resulted either from SPR giveaways or attacking buildup, whereas the Rangers have more speed, dynamism, athleticism up top, relying on the individual quality of the likes of Belmar, Blackwood, Barry to create some of their better looks so far. And now we've got ourselves a water break because it is very hot up there, Carter.
Yeah, good time to just discuss what we've seen in the first 30 minutes. And it is a hydration break here for these teams because it's 8:07 local time here, still 98 degrees on the temperature readout in Kansas City, Kansas. It's a hot one, Sam.
Certainly is. And Carter, we've lucked out with a handful of Rangers home games over the last month or two where we've had some consistently brutal heat. But when SPR home games have popped up, we've been treated to maybe unseasonably cool temperatures, so to speak, in the low to mid 80s, but certainly not the case tonight. We are in the dead heat of the summer.
And this allows both coaches to maybe get a word with their team after they've seen what they've seen over these past half hour. What would Paulo Nagamura be telling his team at the moment?
I think they need to be a little bit sharper in possession. I think part of that can be credited to Sacramento and that they haven't really given the Rangers anything too easily. But I think we've seen a few giveaways here and there that are a bit uncharacteristic of this SPR side. I think getting the ball to the feet of those front three, they've really created a lot of danger when they've gotten on the ball in and around the box. So I think sustaining that possession up into the attacking third and then kind of making the most of it once they're in that position. And I think if you're Sacramento, I think if you're Simon Elliott, you have to be fairly pleased with the way this first half hour has gone. And that you've limited SPR to a handful of sporadic half chances here and there.
Definitely have had the best chance of the game, haven't they, Sacramento?
They certainly have. Coming off of Cameron Iwasa's boot as we take a look at him there. And Eric Dick coming up with a big save.
Blackwood does well to spin away from two Sacramento defenders, and he's found Carlton Belmar in some space on the left. Belmar working his way for a shot. Straight into the midriff of Josh Cohen, and I believe that's first notable save for Josh Cohen, who is actually second in the league with 60 saves coming into this one. That's a decent run from Christian Isley, almost too good of a pass. It hit him on the back of the head.
Was that run in behind the defense? He was all guns blazing, but chance is gone, and now it's Belmar.
Belmar now in the area, cutting it back to the left. That time, it's good defense as Mitchell Taintor was able to stick with the speedy Carlton Belmar out on the wing.
Carter, that's what I'm saying, though, is those are the situations that the Rangers would like to be in, is isolating the likes of Belmar and Barry on those wings where they can run at their defenders and either cut centrally and shoot, cut toward the sideline and whip in a low cross.
That was excellent defending from Shannon Gomez on Haji Berry as he read the situation and just nipped his foot in to deflect it off the Rangers player when it looked like perhaps that was going to go out for a corner kick. So well done to Shannon Gomez, the left back. Here in that goal kick for Sacramento. Hernandez plays through the grab of Jaime Villarreal. Minter now inside with Knox. Just a quick little touch around Villarreal. He draws the foul. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Parker Marr getting forward into the attack. That looked like a decent cross until Jaime Villarreal came tracking back from his midfield position to smash it away.
Villarreal was trailing the play the whole time. Very, very big intervention there, heads up. Defending Villarreal, putting in his defensive duties there.
Offside, quickly off the throw in there. Blackwood just asking, was it on me? Who was it on? Spotted by the near side referee.
Blackwood may not have gotten the answer he wanted.
I feel like players rarely do when they ask questions of the referee.
Isn't that the case? Tyler Blackwood, player who featured regularly for Sacramento Republic last season. 6 goals in 35 career games for Sacramento. Familiar face for the visitors tonight.
Almost as though these two teams have swapped strikers from a year ago. You would figure both of them would be motivated to play against their former employers. Here's one of those guys, Cameron Iwasa, charging forward again. He's made a few of those bulldozing runs just in and around the Sporting KC penalty area, this time crowded out by a host of blue shirts. Dick touching it over to the left-hand side. And he's done well to play this out of pressure, and Swope Park Rangers can break the high press from Sacramento Republic. Barry sliding it over to the left, well defended by Taintor. Just read the intentions of Haji Barry there. And watch out here for the Republic as they're sprinting away on the counterattack. Bijev in acres of space on the left-hand side. Finally brings it under his control. Quick little drag, and he sets it up for Iwasa, who completely mishits that on the edge of the area.
Another clean look there, set up by Bijev to Iwasa. And once again, it's a finish where Iwasa will have wanted to do a lot better, but how about this, Carter? 2 open-ended counterattacks in quick succession, 1 on each side of the field. SPR going one way, Sacramento the other.
Neither of these teams appear to be holding players back in that regard. Players just streaming forward into the attack, and that's left some space in behind, hasn't it?
And I think we can probably expect that to continue to be the case, especially as the game grows. Players in this heat accumulating more fatigue. Oftentimes, what it might do is it might slow the game down, and that neither side is particularly buzzing around, but it also might stretch the midfield at times. So it could go either way. It's a meaty foul there. Graham Smith on Iwasa.
That one will hurt. Looks like it might have hurt both players. Smith just a little overzealous there as the ball zipped forward into the chest of Cameron Iwasa. Still struggling to pick himself up from the turf.
Might have just been one of those where Iwasa gets the wind knocked out of him just a bit. Grabbing at his throat.
The ball with that shove might have hit him in a place he might not have liked. Cameron Iwasa, 65th overall pick in the 2015 Super Draft by Montreal. Didn't sign with the Impact, so he signed up instead with this team, Sacramento Republic. UC Irvine alum.
I think this is a place where Cameron Iwasa feels comfortable and confident. I think
it's back to Bijev. Worked a 1-2 lovely on the edge of the area with Isley. But Bijev couldn't get that on target either. That was a lovely buildup.
Quite honestly, I'm not quite sure what Bijev has in mind here. He plays this 1-2 with Isley. And we see right here, Bijev is going to be able to take that down and dribble in and have a shot on goal. Instead, he tries to take it one time, and it sprays harmlessly wide. A player of Bijev's quality, you'd expect that opportunity to be handled a little bit cleaner.
It looked like you said, Sam, taking that one down with the touch in the area. It's beyond Brad Evans. There's been opportunities for both sides in this game. Belmar trying to run out of defender. He slipped it in for Parker Marr, whose first touch let him down. Cohen now under pressure. He's fouled Jeremy Hall. That was a good first touch from Hall.
We've seen both of these keepers under duress, and instead of blindedly hammering it upfield, they're finding players in their own thirds of the field.
So far, so good on that front. We've seen a couple of near calamity. This time, Josh Cohen started every game for Sacramento this year. 19 games played, averaging a clean 1 for his goals against average. We talked about second in the league with 60 saves. Vast experience in the USL, Josh Cohen. Gomez getting forward again. That's a lovely move to beat Colton Storm. Just ducked inside the right back for the Rangers. And here's a tasty looking free kick for the visitors.
Gomez gets Storm to dive, punishes the SPR right back for doing so, and now it's a very, very dangerous opportunity that SPR will have to defend, and chance here for Sacramento to draw first blood before halftime.
Eric Dick putting 2 players in the wall here, just trying to organize his back line. William Bijev, good on a dead ball. This is a really inviting area to whip in some good service, right? Even with the 18. Whips it in low, gets a touch. Not enough to deflect past Eric Dick. Mitchell Tainer was there at the near post.
I think that's precisely what William Bijev intended to do. Flash a low ball in across the face of goal there. Hope it gets a redirect. Isley not quite able to make clean contact, and now SPR will have a corner.
Get in. Take another look at this free kick. Bijev, like you said, just whipping it into the near post.
Yeah.
Didn't actually take a touch as he stepped over. I thought he tried to flick that one on.
I was mistaken in saying it was Isley, but it looked like we had the defender looking there, and Justin Schmidt. Perhaps it was Mitchell Tainter.
So it was a near miss for the Republic, and then up the other end go the Rangers. As this one has opened up, we've seen some end-to-end stuff. Quickly taking corner, no one marking Knox on the edge of the area. Back now with Minter. Strong punch from Cohen over 2 Ranger players. Had to be strong there, as his team wasn't really alert to that short corner situation. Spin move from Storm. Now Evans. He crosses it to the back post. Alone is Smith. He tried to float it up towards the penalty spot. Still alive. What a calm pass from the captain, Jeremy Hall. And then Isley's a little disappointed. He thought he had some space here on the near side.
That was a delicious ball whipped in from Brad Evans a few seconds ago. Didn't quite stand up for Graham Smith. Obviously not accustomed to being in those positions necessarily. Nonetheless, a dangerous opportunity there for the Rangers. Both sides looking capable of a goal. Carter, we played nearly 45 minutes here, no goals, but I'd be surprised if that remained the case for the duration of this game.
Somehow this game still scoreless. We move ever closer to the halftime break. An easy interception for Gomez. There's good build-up play. And now released into the area is Iwasa, and he scores through the keeper. Cameron Iwasa against his former club, and he has now tied the Sacramento Republic all-time record for goals scored.
His 20th in a Sacramento uniform. It's Cameron Iwasa. In his return back to Kansas City, it's a goal he won't necessarily be celebrating, but it's a goal that Sacramento will be delighted to have here on the stroke of halftime. 1-0 Republic.
Eric Dick gets a palm to it. It's not strong enough to keep out the right-footed rocket from Cameron Iwasa. And his 8th goal of the season has given Sacramento a lead as we're about to head into the halftime break.
Iwasa with 9 goals now in all competitions this season for Sacramento. Certainly rediscovered his scoring touch, and I had mentioned a bit earlier, Carter, that this is a place, this is a club where Cameron Iwasa feels comfortable and he feels confident. He playing in front of his family in Sacramento on a weekly basis. This is an area of the country where he grew up. When he puts on this uniform for Sacramento, he is quite a player here in the USL. And I think for their overall performance, Sacramento not necessarily undeserving of this 1-0 advantage, especially the way they've played away from home here tonight.
And on short rest as well, playing just last Saturday as Belmar's touch lets him down. There is the goal scorer, now level with Rodrigo Lopez in the history of Sacramento Republic goal scorers. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Is there time left for the Swope Park Rangers? Maybe one or two more attacks forward. Barry inside, trying to slide it in behind for Blackwood. Well read by Schmidt. There's that man again, Shannon Gomez. He played a part in the build-up for the opening goal here for Sacramento, and again, he's on his defensive duties.
Carter, we've commended Sacramento for taking this lead. If you're Palo Nagamura and SPR, you're going to be absolutely gutted to concede that goal so close to halftime.
Just might change the team talk from Palo Nagamura.
I think it might change the look of the game as well. Hard to know how Sacramento will adjust, being up a goal as we hear the halftime whistle, but that man right there is the reason they're ahead.
Cameron Iwasa giving Sacramento Republic a lead just a minute before the halftime break. Palo Nagamura has some work to do in his halftime team talk as the Sacramento Republic lead by a score of 1-0 over the Swope Park Rangers. Stick with us. We'll be back for halftime stats, news, and analysis. Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park, where Sacramento Republic have taken a Cameron Iwasa late goal in the first half into halftime, and that is the only goal of the game. They lead by a score of 1-0 over the Swope Park Rangers. Well, they talk about the number 6 position in this Swope Park Rangers midfield, and one guy who's been outstanding in that position has been Juan Kuzain. We had a chance to sit down with him as he talked about his pathway to the pros.
I think a huge influence was, John Perry, who's the head of academy director. One day my brother got a job as an admin, and he's been trying to get me to play for Sporting since, I can remember. He told me, there's no better chance, and I finally got to tour, the facilities, the stadium, and see what they had. And, after talking to Peter and the staff, and they just told me if I was good enough, I'd get the chance, and, now I'm here today. I had a lot of friends on the academy team when I joined, so they've helped ease the moving away, and really they're some of my best friends that I've made. I think that's one of the best parts about the academy, that you can be with guys your age and some of your best friends and play against some of the best competition in the world. And I think the system is something that I fit pretty well in, so there wasn't too much to learn from. Obviously I still had to learn a lot, but I think from a playing experience I learned pretty quickly. We like to keep the ball, we like to press, so it kind of fit into my game. And we have some of the best coaches here, so they get it into you pretty quick. I played a lot with Swope Park Rangers as well, and from the academy all the way to the first team, we all play the same style. So when you get called up to join the first team or practice with the first team, if you're a U16 player, it's all the same. It was unreal. Like I've told a lot of people, it's a dream come true. It didn't hit me right away, but a couple days later, it kind of finally settled in, and I was like, wow, I made my MLS debut, and it's just, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and hopefully a lot more to come.
Gomez missed the tackle. Zusi stays with it, and it's a first-time shot taken, and it's the 19-year-old. Second game, first goal. Juan Kuzain, what a moment!
I believe it was Jehan got hurt, and Peter just signaled to me to get ready, and his last words to me were, you're gonna score. And just before that, he was like, you have the confidence, you have the ability, you have it all. The ball came to me, and I struck it pretty well, and it took a deflection. So my first reaction was, I don't even know what happened. If you saw my celebration, I don't think it was the best, but yeah, overall I just had a good feeling about it though. It's something I try not to think much of. Obviously, no one can compare it to one of the greatest players of all time, or the greatest player to ever play. But I'm fully aware of it, and I'm very thankful and blessed to be in that position. But at the end of the day, I just want to play soccer, and social media recognition and media recognition is something really good. But I have to keep performing, so hopefully I can do that.
Nice to hear from what some people are calling the Malaysian Messi. Sam, I'm calling him the Malaysian Makalele for the time being.
I think that's more appropriate in the fact that he is more of a deep-lying player. That shield in front of the back four, I think that's very appropriate.
Either way, tough standard to live up to, but it seems like Kuzain is well on his way. A really bright future for that young man as he has made his way through this Swope Park Rangers team. Well, it's 1-0 right now for the visitors, Sacramento Republic. The Swope Park Rangers with a 15-game unbeaten streak at home that is now teetering on the edge. Stick with us. We'll be back for the highlights in the first half. These are watching the USL Western Conference on a special Tuesday night.
Lancaster! Cameron Lancaster! A dream of a goal!
Yeats inside the area. It's Hamilton! What a finish! Jordan Hamilton! What a strike!
Depersky getting in behind.
That ball from Mirkovic, and what an incredible goal from Pereski! Cornell Cato, oh my goodness, what a finish! Across the middle. Obanawi with the insurance goal. There it is! McInerney, good looking ball. Jack McInerney. Just digs it back in, flicked on. Chris Nyko.
Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody puts the Monarchs ahead in the 8th minute of play.
This one sent in. Great effort! Tampa Bay equalized in the 90th. It's Damo Duro in his rowdy debut.
Obi steps in. Obi shooting! Saved by Lynn! He protected the 2 points!
Looking overlap here on the cross, volleyed in, and beautifully saved.
Stepping forward, header is saved! Von Williams just barely knocking it away from Doyle.
Brandon Allen! Garces kept it out.
Here comes Fresno. Cooper! Safe keeper. Cohen gets in behind. Francois off of Ramjinsing. Francois again. Ramjinsing slaps it away. Lofted over the back line and saved by Pickens as he dives aside.
Halftime in Kansas City. It's a sweltering hot summer day here as the Sacramento Republic lead by a score of 1-0 over the Swope Park Rangers. And let's take a look at the Western Conference standings in the USL, and these two teams just about right around each other right now. Sacramento have played 2 games more than the Swope Park Rangers to this point.
It's clear to see, though, what the outcome of this game could do in shaping the overall look of that Western Conference table. And at the end of the season, who knows? The difference between that 4th spot and the 5th spot is huge, because that number 4 seed hosts that first game in the playoffs, 5 seed needing to go on the road. Who knows, maybe these two teams, in addition to meeting yet again later in the regular season, will meet for the 2nd straight time in the playoffs.
Well, we've seen what that 4 seed has done for the Swope Park Rangers over the past 2 seasons. Maybe that's their lucky spot as they rode the 4 seed in both of those years to the USL Cup final. Well, they're playing Sacramento Republic right now. Got an away trip to Portland on the docket for this weekend, but Swope Park Rangers returning home a week from tomorrow against Orange County, and it's a sock giveaway. That should be a fun one. Some good American-themed socks there for the Swope Park Rangers.
They're comfortable, too. I've gotten my hands on a pair, Carter.
Oh, wow, advanced pair, huh?
They are fantastic.
I didn't get that same invitation, I guess.
Aesthetically, they obviously make the cut, but obviously comfort, first and foremost, for me, and those pass the test.
Look forward to that. So get out here next week to get your hands on a pair yourself. Well, what's going on around the league in USL? Just a few little notes here. Toronto FC 2, they'll be the 5th founding member of USL D3. They join these aforementioned cities: Statesboro, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, Tucson, Arizona, and Madison, Wisconsin. Not a bad little quintet of teams already set up for USL D3.
Certainly, I think those would be some intriguing places to bring professional soccer. A couple college towns there in Madison and Tucson, and then Greenville, beautiful place, Statesboro as well. So fascinating developments here in the United Soccer League. And then, obviously, we can talk about how much this league is growing in popularity, on pace for 3 million fans in attendance in 2018.
Week 16 featured the 2nd highest attended weekend in USL history, 111,700 fans. And then that was the 3rd weekend with more than 100,000 fans attending games, on pace for 3 million. What a year for the United Soccer League. And what a game we have on our hands as well here this evening. The Swope Park Rangers making their way back out onto the pitch. They have some work to do if they want to keep this unbeaten streak going. It dates back to almost a year ago, and it's clearly up in the air now as Sacramento have a halftime lead. They lead 1-0 over the Swope Park Rangers. Stick with us. We'll be right back for the second half kick. Just about ready to start the second half here in Kansas City, Kansas, as Sacramento Republic have a 1-0 halftime lead over the Swope Park Rangers. And let's take a look at what got us there as we'll look at the first half highlights. And Sam Cobson, it was a pretty open game from the start here.
An eventful first 45 minutes, and we can see a Chase Miller set piece leading to a Graham Smith header that skipped wide, and then Eric Dick giving the ball away in a costly position, but he's going to make up for it right here as Cameron Iwasa in on goal. But Dick stones him.
Iwasa denied. What a glorious chance at the opener. Here's a good chance for the Swope Park Rangers as well. Again, some high pressure forcing a mistake.
Felipe Hernandez was our player to watch coming into this one. An excellent move there to gain a little separation. Curls it just wide, and next it was the visitors who went on top. Villarreal in through to Cameron Iwasa, man of the hour so far, finishing low past Eric Dick to give Sacramento that 1-0 lead at halftime.
Iwasa's club record tying 21st goal. It's his goal that now has Sacramento Republic on top 1-0 here, as we talked about. Swope Park Rangers, 15 games unbeaten at home. That streak stretching back to last summer. Just almost to a year of unbeaten games in a row at home. 5-0-1 this season at home, the Swope Park Rangers. Sacramento Republic have shown no fear so far in this first half.
They haven't, and this is a Sacramento team that has struggled a little bit on their travels as of late. Just one goal from their last 4 away games, but they've got that all-important go-ahead goal tonight. Now for the Rangers, it's up to them to see if they can extend this home unbeaten streak that we've been alluding to. Rangers have trailed at halftime in 6 home games in their regular season history. This would be number 7. In those previous 6 games, they have a 3-2-1 record, so they've actually come back in half those games and then come back for a point in another one of those games. So we'll see what the rest of the night has in store.
It's a good prior history on the side of the Swope Park Rangers as they'll switch sides here in the second half. Rangers moving from right to left now in their blue on blue. The white and gray of Sacramento Republic from left to right. Here's Belmar charging through the midfield. He's past one player. Strength of Belmar. An amazing run from half field ends up in the clutches of Josh Cohen.
Really, really impressive stuff from Belmar. A lung-busting 40-yard run through the heart of the Sacramento defense. All that's lacking here is a finish that is placed into either corner as he shoots right at Cohen.
Belmar's getting it back from the throw. It's a wonderful cross into the area. Blackwood just couldn't quite take it under his control.
And it's Gomez there again, Carter, who has had a really, really strong game so far for Sacramento. Intervening there, coming over from his left back position.
It really has been an excellent game so far for Shannon Gomez. The Rangers, just a bright start here in the second half. So it was about a 44th minute goal there for Sacramento. They're able to take into the halftime break. Change the team talks for both these sides. Something for the Republic to hold on to. Here's great work from Storm. He's in for Blackwood. And just as Blackwood was trying to get it away, it's slide tackled away and then kept in play as well. What a play, Justin Schmidt.
How good was that from the 24-year-old defender, Justin Schmidt there? Out of blue, we were maybe expecting an SPR corner kick to result from that, but terrific 1v1 defending.
Fantastic bit of play by Justin Schmidt, former second-round pick. Oh, now here comes Felipe Hernandez. He's cutting it back. Tyler Blackwood, surely. Oh, it's deflected over the bar. How is it not 1-1?
We're going to see this again, Carter. So close from the hosts as Hernandez getting involved. He didn't see the end of it there, but he cut the ball back. And Blackwood's shot was blocked. Then absolutely had to be a heroic intervention there. Sacramento, a massive sigh of relief as they take their 1-0 lead into the 49th minute.
Moving dangerously now. Rangers just taking that corner quickly, and the cross was floated into the arms of Josh Cohen, so Sacramento can move up the field a little bit. Just about makers of their own downfall there.
That's not the first time we've seen it.
Good control from Villarreal. This leads to Sacramento chance. Iwasa creating some space for his left foot. Never looked like it was going to trouble the goalkeeper. It drifts out of play. Rangers not wasting much time on these restarts here in the second half. Getting that goal kick back into action quickly is Eric Tick. Giving up a goal here, he'll have no chance at his fourth shutout. Here's Belmar again running past Villarreal like he's not there. And he wanted a foul from the referee. Nothing given, and now here comes Sacramento. Bijev trying to ride the challenge of Storm. Cutting inside, Bijev onto the right, takes a deflection. Could have troubled Eric Tick, but deflection takes it right into his eager hands.
There we see Bijev's individual quality there, and not the best outlet from Dick as Gomez intercepts.
It's a poor throw. The Villarreal just trying to thread it through a host of bodies. Here's a one high up the pitch, onto the left foot, and it smashes into Swope Park Rangers defender. That was the right back. Coming up into some uncharted territory. Looks like we had a substitute at halftime as well, as Emra Clementa checking back into the game for Sacramento Republic. Just recently re-signed, the all-time appearances leader for the Republic. She was with the Galaxy earlier this season. And she's the only player to have appeared in all 5 seasons for the Sacramento Republic. Not a bad option to bring off the bench here in the second half.
Certainly not. Emra Clementa, when you talk about USL over the last 5 seasons, there maybe hasn't been a player with a more impressive resume in terms of what he's done with one club. So we see a long-range effort there saved by Colton Storm. Emra Clementa, the Montenegro international. No one has played more games in a Sacramento uniform than that man, and he's got some undeniable quality. He had to go with LA Galaxy for the first half of 2018, a few appearances with them, and now he's back in a familiar spot. And certainly a fan favorite for Sacramento when he entered the fray in last weekend's draw against Real Monarchs. standing ovation, as you would certainly expect out at Papa Murphy's.
Looks to add to his all-time appearances record. Here he is on the ball, trying to spray it forward, and actually, here come Sacramento Republic now into the area. Cut back to the edge of the box. Bijev on his left, and it's palmed away. Eric Dick has. Here comes Sacramento again. Blackwood just hacks that one anywhere away from goal. Hall is there to pick it up. Sacramento have responded nicely. Here's a nice little layoff in for Iwasa, trying to drag it back to the right foot. And there is a second half substitute for the Swope Park Rangers, who's also making a big impact there. Matthew Lewis coming into the game. Take a look at, again, this save on Bijev from Eric Dick.
Yeah, and wasn't the cleanest first touch to set up that strike from Bijev. Nevertheless, he puts it on goal, and Dick forced into a big stop there. Young 23-year-old, and harder than we saw not long later. Matt Lewis getting involved for SPR with Brad Evans being given 45 minutes tonight. I think the plan was never for him to go the full distance, but Brad Evans, coming back from injury with Sporting KC, I think for him it was about getting a run out tonight. We'll end at 45 minutes for the MLS veteran.
Here's Bijev back inside with Iwasa. Just want to clarify, Emer Clementa came in for Luis Espino, and that has pushed the right back Elliot Horde up the pitch. As Matthew Lewis, Sam just talked about coming in for Brad Evans, those were the halftime subs for each team. Storm, his pass intercepted by Gomez. Inside for Bijev. Sacramento really has responded well after it looked like the Rangers were going to come out like barnstormers here in the second half. They withstood that early pressure, and there's been a couple of really good chances for Sacramento. Villarreal, he's growing into the game, sprays it out for Clementa. Charging into the area, clipping a delicious cross, and a diving header. What a goal! Sacramento, they lead 2-0. Cameron Iwasa at the double. He is now the all-time goal-scoring leader for Sacramento Republic FC.
Iwasa was lurking at the far post, and how good is this cross from Clementa? He has way too much time on the ball, and he makes Rangers pay. Stands it up wonderfully, and Iwasa doesn't have to break stride. A diving header past Dick. Iwasa has two, Sacramento has two, and Swope Park Rangers, they're in trouble.
Roman Knox goes to the bench, and that leads for a USL debut for Jehan Rad. SKC Academy product, and he has some work to do as Sacramento Republic, through a Cameron Iwasa brace, now lead 2-0 here in Kansas City, Kansas. And that is his 21st goal in USL play, which is the most ever for a Sacramento Republic player.
How about Emer Clementa stepping in at halftime and getting immediately involved? Iwasa was open at the far post, but it was Clementa who had the quality to whip that ball in, and perfectly so. And now Jehan Rad making his professional debut for the Swope Park Rangers after having a terrific season with the Sporting KC U19 Academy, one of the star players for a team that finished third in the Frontier Division of the Central Conference and the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. And Jehan Rad, another player that the Sporting KC technical staff certainly thinks highly of, and the future is bright for this young man, and certainly a tough challenge for him, stepping in with the scoreline 2-0 in favor of the visitors. Big ask for Jehan Rad to come in and make an imprint. We'll see how he does.
Kept in well by Horde, and then cross whipped into the near post. Smith taking no chances. He'll just play that one out of bounds for a corner kick.
It's a critical juncture of the game for SPR to stop the bleeding. You get the feeling that if Sacramento gets another one here soon, it's lights out. It's the end of SPR's home unbeaten run.
They're threatening for a third here from this corner kick. Elliot Horde into the near post. It was Clementa there who flicked on his header. Blackwood tried to head it off Horde. Still mucked up down here on the near side. Horde will dribble away, and the Republic with a chance to reset their offense.
See, this is just a Sacramento team now that has more confidence at this point in time than they have in a month.
A little bit of overconfidence there from the goalkeeper, Josh Cohn. Just tried to pop it over to Clementa. Quickly taken throw as well. Barry. Now with Blackwood. Cutting inside. Weaving his way through a host of bodies. It's touched away, and he has to go recover it with Parker Mock. Minter. Just Belmar in the area to aim for, and he's overhit that cross into the arms of Josh Cohn.
If you're the Rangers right now, you have to make it a priority to get on the ball and sustain something in the attacking half. The Rangers have not been able to make any sort of imprint here in this second half.
The ball from Hall is fantastic. So too from Villarreal, charging in the area, just wide. Oh, that was so close for Christian Isley to making this 3-0 to Sacramento.
It's a terrific ball played through there. Good touch from Isley to get a little bit of separation from his defender, but can't quite steer it on goal. Another scare from SPR, and if you're Simon Elliott's team right now, you're really, really liking what you're seeing as we near the hour mark.
That's 2 balls straight down the middle that lead to a chance up the other end for Sacramento. Midfielders combining on a lovely play through the center of the park. And now Clementa really feeling, no, excuse me, that's the center back, Taintor. And he delivers in an excellent cross. It requires a fantastic block from Matthew Lewis.
Looked like Clementa there, didn't it? Just the quality going forward there from Taintor.
Just gliding past the host of Swope Park Rangers defenders. And now Bijev on the other end of the field wins a throw-in as we are an hour played here in Kansas City, Kansas. Swope Park Rangers, Matt Lewis on the ropes here. How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every Tuesday. You can win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. Sacramento come again, this time looking for Clementa, who tries an acrobatic first touch. Can't quite bring it down. That was asking a lot of the right back.
Both teams made some defensive adjustments, personnel perspective at halftime. I think there's no question which team has fared the better since the restart, as Clementa has come in and got himself an assist. Rangers have looked a bit disjointed defensively. Here they come on the attack.
Break the press well, and now Belmar out on the wing, sliding it back for Rad. Minter. Now Barry isolated into one-on-one. He likes his odds, cuts inside, onto the right, just over the crossbar.
And Haji Barry will have thought he had cut the deficit in half. He cuts onto his right and curls one just over the crossbar. Josh Cohn was beaten. Prompt reminder there of Haji Barry's quality. 6 goals, 4 assists for that man this season, and almost a 7th.
Doesn't look to be suffering any ill effects from that injury in the first half, Haji Barry. Good tackle on the far side by Shannon Gomez. And a little bit of multi-ball action there, so throw has to be retaken by Colton Storm. Under a half hour to play here. Swope Park Rangers won 4 of their last 5. 15 games unbeaten at home in a row. Unbeaten this season, 5-0-1 at home. Sacramento Republic have come in here, really played well. 14 shots already for the visitors. Bijev just straying into an offside position.
It's been a confident display, really, from the beginning for Sacramento, and something that is really impressive given mediocre form coming into this one. The likes of the man on the ball, Carlton Belmont, things can change quick.
Crosses blocked into the path of Hernandez. And that's excellent defensive work from Gomez. How many times have we said that?
He's been solid tonight, hasn't he, Carter? Consistently so. And in addition to locking down that far sideline defensively, he also played that part. Sacramento's go-ahead goal in the end of the first half. Really impressive showing so far from Shannon Gomez, the 21-year-old.
The Rangers now with the ball deep in their own half. Jehan Rad, debutant, dropping deep to pick up that ball. Pass given away by Lewis, and now here's a breakaway. Isley straight up the center. Lewis coming over. Nothing given by the referee, and that was another close one for the Rangers.
It's the right decision there, no foul. A situation like that, but a little bit of a giveaway there from the Rangers, resulting in another near chance for Sacramento.
Miscommunication between Barry and Belmar in the center of the pitch. Gives up possession again, and Sacramento through Villarreal. Well, hands to his coach, and a little clap of come on from Simon Elliott. Upset with the carelessness in that pass from Jaime Villarreal, but there's some good tackling work from Clementa. Initially given as a Sacramento throw, but the refs confer and said it'll be with the Rangers. Minter spraying it wide right. Storm has found a pocket of space. Hernandez just inviting that tackle in from Bijev. And here's a chance for the Rangers to pile some of their big bodies forward.
Smart move there from Hernandez. Turns his body to shield the ball, and Bijev commits a bit of a clumsy foul there. Referee Rubio Vasquez hasn't had to blow his whistle too much tonight, but does so there, and rightfully so. Now it's a Minter set piece. Chase Minter standing over this one. He'll whip it in for SPR.
Sam mentioned chances Chase Minter has created. Does he have another one here? Curling one up towards the spot. Lewis! Oh, he had beaten his defender, but he couldn't beat the goalkeeper.
What a chance this is. Chase Minter curling it in wonderfully. And Matt Lewis gets away from his man. He gets away from Justin Schmidt. And it's a great look, and very, very nearly Matt Lewis's first professional goal.
In his 6th appearance of the season for the Swope Park Rangers, 3rd off the bench. Such a stalwart at Fordham, where he led them as captain to a deep run in the NCAA tournament last season. Kansas City native, homegrown from the SKC Academy as well. Now here comes Bijev. Sliding it wide right. Horde is there. Getting it onto his right foot. He cuts it right at the feet of Eric Dick. little ambitious to go for goal from that angle.
It's a good switch. Minter.
Right onto the thigh of Colton Storm. He's asked a lot of Haji Berry there, just left it short. Allowed Gomez to speed in and take it away.
Just a little nonchalant there from Colton Storm in possession. If you're the Rangers, it's all about getting on the ball and getting into dangerous areas, trying to cut into that 2-0 deficit. That is a reckless challenge there, it looks like, from Isley.
Yellow card for his efforts. Real striker's tackle there from Christian Isley. A sore one for Matt Lewis to wear.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's an easy call for Vasquez to make his first yellow shown of the evening.
The Rangers trying to gain some momentum here. Sacramento have done a good job of keeping them at bay. Storm in for Rad. Good ball wide left. Mars got some time and space. Cohen just covering that all the way to his post, and he knew it was going high and wide. Not the delivery you're accustomed to seeing from Parker Marr in those wide areas. Got his first assist of the season last game against Seattle. Here he is challenging with Horde. He's done just enough to ease off Sacramento winger. And now Lewis can bring it forward. Inside with Barry. Good lead from Barry. Hernandez trying to ease it into the path of Haji Berry. Berry's still going to work against Gomez now. And he's forced to throw. Or no, it's a corner kick actually. Dogged work by Haji Berry there.
Haji Berry awarded for his hustle there on the far sideline, getting tangled up with Gomez, and who knows, that just may lead to something here for the Rangers, who are badly in need of a spark as Mitchell plays it short.
Storm coming up to deliver this from his right back position. Blocked. Wouldn't fall for Hernandez, and now it's a one-on-one situation for Parker Marr against Isley, and he's just held him off there just enough. And can he restart this Rangers attack? Belmar crossing it to the back post, slammed home by Haji Berry. Rangers back in it, 2-1.
Belmar to Berry, and the Swope Park Rangers have a lifeline. A terrific move down the left side from Carlton Belmar. Cool as you like on the finish from Haji Berry, his 7th of the season. And a huge response from the Rangers at a critical juncture of the game, 20 minutes left. All to play for now as he flashes the ball across. Make no mistake, Haji Berry.
So Haji Berry gets his 7th goal of the season. Carlton Belmar his 3rd assist, and I want to shout out for Parker Marr. You saw there on that second replay, it was his work in that one-on-one situation that kept the ball for the Rangers, and he found a good pass out to Belmar as well.
It's a terrific point, Carter. Very unsung moment there from that man wearing the captain's armband. Parker Marr did wonderfully to win possession there, carried into the attack in half, and spread it wide to Belmar, where he's at his most dangerous, and he took on his defender. He beat his defender. And now it's 2-1. The Rangers can smell something now.
Can the Rangers conjure up a little bit more of this Kansas City magic that they seem to have in spades? Unbeaten at home in the playoffs over their last 2 years. Unbeaten at home since last July. They're looking to extend that 15-game home unbeaten streak here as they've gotten back into it with that goal.
Worth mentioning as well that the Rangers have never lost a game at Children's Mercy Park. Last home defeat last summer coming at Swope Soccer Village, Children's Mercy Victory Field.
So numbers trying to see if they're in the Rangers' favor here tonight on a really hot day in Kansas City, Kansas. How does Sacramento respond? They've got an attack forward now through Bijev, who's mad at himself or maybe at the run. Well, he's mad regardless. It looked like he and Gomez had worked well down that left-hand side.
It's a very concerning time for Sacramento to have conceded that goal. They started the second half very, very brightly and were deserved owners of a 2-goal lead. And the tide has turned in SPR's favor over the last 10 minutes or so. We'll see how the visitors here can cope with what will probably be a building onslaught, wave of attack from Rangers.
They've done well here, keeping their poise under pressure. And now, well, it was just poor timing there from both of those players because that really should have been Sacramento in on the right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely should have. Clemente had acres of space to run into, and the ball wasn't played in with very much quality either, was it? Iwasa wasn't his best pass.
A little bit of a knockoff effect here because Clemente struggling to keep up with Carlton Belmar after they turned it over, and he took him down to the turf. It's an obvious yellow card for the referee, so Clemente, the sub, into the books now as well. Sacramento really looked like they should have been in. They did so well to break the press on that particular passage of play. Clemente trying to hold his line. Iwasa trying to hold the pass. It just didn't work out, but here they come again. Villarreal with Horde. And Jeremy Hall.
I think this is one of the ways you stem momentum, isn't it? Is keeping the ball. SPR team has its tails up just a bit. Here Sacramento might not be a better way of killing the game off, putting it to bed than simply keeping it, while at the same time maintaining somewhat of an initiative and pushing the game forward. You certainly don't want to be in a position to where you're playing not to win.
Simon Elliott's got to be going crazy. That's the second or third time we've seen Sacramento with players in plenty of space down this right-hand side, and just a wayward pass or a wayward touch goes out of play. They've had their chances to keep possession, although on the other hand, Matt Lewis gives it away for the Rangers just now.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, those windows, those openings will probably continue to be there as the Rangers put out a more attack-minded formation. We'll stay in that 4-3-3, I should say, but in terms of committing men forward, Sacramento's going to have opportunities to counter. SPR will be putting their fullbacks in more advanced positions, so I think those windows will continue to be there for Sacramento. Can they take advantage of it?
They're doing a good job at the moment of spreading the play around, keeping possession. There's a good layoff to the left-hand side. Bijev, first-time cross, in for Isley. He might have just gotten a touch, but Eric Dick was there with his big 6'5" frame to smother that one away.
And again, more danger created by Sacramento. And I think, as we've been saying, that's just what you want. In a situation like this, you aren't necessarily sitting back and soaking up pressure.
With it.
For the Rangers, it's been a bit of a challenge to stay on the ball and put something together in the attacking third to where you're consistently knocking on the door. I think it's been a pretty well-managed game so far from Sacramento.
You feel like this one's going to have a few more chances in it for each side. 2-1 the score. Sacramento leading through a Cameron Iwasa double. He becomes the club's all-time leading scorer in USL play. The Swope Park Rangers with Haji Berry pulled one back. That's where we stand. Here's a lovely interchange of passes. Outside of the right boot. And just too far for anyone in a white shirt to get on the end of. And that will bring us to a hydration break here in the second half. 9:12 p.m. here, local time in Kansas City, Kansas. It was 98 degrees an hour ago. It's cooled off a little bit, Sam. It's 96 degrees here now.
That 2-degree difference making wonders. I don't know about you, Carter. I'm feeling very comfortable up here in this Jones Mercy Park press box, but as I was going to say, the game had kind of withered a little bit, that both teams looking a bit fatigued. Both teams attacking, but not with the fervor or pace that you might be accustomed to both teams doing so maybe earlier in the game. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these final 15 minutes or so will play out. You'd expect there to be a decent chunk of stoppage time with this water break as we see Paolo Nagamura have a chat with his team.
Animated chat from Paolo Nagamura. Time to recharge the batteries here for both teams. Like you said, Sam, looks like maybe getting some heavy legs, some tired guys out there, and could that possibly lead to some open spaces on the field?
Well, I think Sacramento countering is always going to be concerned in a situation like this, right? With SPR chasing the game down 2-1, but we've also seen on a handful of occasions tonight Sacramento giving the ball away in some costly spots. You have two teams predicating themselves on keeping the ball. Oftentimes that's going to be the case, is those self-inflicted wounds. So while the Rangers will certainly want to look to build from the back and build something of their own going into the attacking half, maybe it's a question of whether they can make Sacramento pay with a mistake self-inflicted by the visitors. We shall see here in the next 11 minutes plus change.
Back in play here in Kansas City, Kansas. As the Rangers will build from the back and try and build up momentum. Sacramento's done a good job of stifling it after the Rangers were able to claw a goal back. Want to keep up with the best social media from around the USL? Join Kelsey Steele every Friday on the USL social media channels for the latest edition of Off the Post. So throwing right in front of the Sacramento bench. Simon Elliott has just about kicked every ball there. He hasn't really sat down from his technical area. Of course, he's so well seasoned. His time in MLS, 200 odd appearances for a host of clubs. Just outside the top 25 in terms of career assists in MLS as well. What a fantastic career Simon Elliott had to go along with his 69 caps for New Zealand. He's in charge of a Sacramento team that's looking for his first win in 4 games in the USL and 5 games in all competitions. And they've come in here despite having such a short rest as well. Played last Saturday onto this Tuesday game, and they've been so impressive on the road.
You really can't say enough about how they performed tonight. As you said, less than 72 hours removed from an 0-0 draw against Real Monarchs. Traveling halfway across the country to a very, very difficult place to play, as it is, in Jones Mercy Park, home of Swope Park Rangers, and a place where the Rangers have never lost. Not to mention the fact that it is 96 degrees here at 9:15 local time. Certainly have to give this Sacramento team some credit.
Got a ways to go if they want to see this one out, and that'll help. Bijev stepping in, wanted a return with Iwasa, but they just couldn't quite connect. Good step from Smith. And that's led to this attack. Hernandez charging through the middle of the pitch. Hernandez, and that's a huge tackle. Mitchell Taintor quelling the danger as Felipe Hernandez was bearing down on goal.
Terrific run through the middle there from Felipe Hernandez. The run ends on the edge of the box. I think it might have been Villarreal sticking his foot out to get the ball, and now we've got another switch coming for Sacramento. We've got Wilson Nisha coming in for Elliot Horton.
It's like a like-for-like situation. Nisha appears to just go step up into that right wide position. Or maybe Clemento will. We'll see how these two interact here. I think Nisha just trying to get a touch on the ball there. Can't blame him, just coming into the game. It's been about a season and a half, almost 2 seasons now for Nisha with Sacramento. Coming over from Blythe Spartans. Some good work on the far side by Clemento. All the way over from, excuse me, that was Iwasa getting involved on the far side. He's won a corner here for Sacramento. Still sending some bodies forward here, Sacramento. They know a third goal could well and truly kill this game off. Whipped in to the 6, headed clear by Lewis. There's Taintor. A really nice diagonal to pick out Bijev. Little Cruyff turn, trying to get away from Mar, and he's created just a little bit of space for a cross. Left all the way through the box, still alive. Nisha just into the game. And it requires a last-ditch challenge by Carlton Belmar, out for another Sacramento corner.
Rangers stretched thin here in the late stages as Bijev working tirelessly down that left side. This is a Sacramento team that has shown no interest in sagging back defending here in the late stages. It's been a fascinating end to this one, and that if you were watching without necessarily knowing what the score was, you'd think maybe we'd have a tied game on our hands.
Sacramento with the wind in their sails, looking for a killer blow here against the Swope Park Rangers. Another corner kick. Curled in to the far post. Dick with a shout for it, and on a second asking, he's able to scramble to it, get it back in his hands. Rangers now trying to stream down the other end. Hernandez on the right-hand side. Coming in behind for Colton Storm, who just left that one at the penalty spot. Well defended. And Bijev's just going to charge forward here. Numbers aren't with him, so he'll slow it up. Iwasa comes in field, and this is calm play from Sacramento, just taking a little air out of the ball. Maybe some commentators curse there. So they get a little too adventurous down the left-hand side. But the work rate from Gomez has been constant throughout this game, and he nips in there to play it out for a throw. That will allow for a substitution, and Chase Minter sprints off the pitch, trying to get this one started as quickly as possible. Gonna allow Sebastian Cruz come into the game, his third appearance off the bench this season. Another SKC Academy product and a Fresno, California native, so maybe this game has a little special meaning for him.
Certainly so. Good to see Sebastian Cruz out there on the field again. As you mentioned, Carter, his third appearance of the season for SPR. Actually got to see Sebastian Cruz train with the Sporting KC first team down at preseason training in Arizona in January. Had a very solid 2 weeks with the team, did Sebastian Cruz. Another player who will certainly hope to leave a lasting imprint, not only with the Rangers, but one of these days soon with the Sporting KC first team.
There is Cruz, 17-year-old from Fresno, 5'6", 150 pounds. Does he have something to add to this Rangers comeback attempt? He's making a darting run forward. Mar instead chooses to go with Belmar. There's some really good defensive work by Clementa. And a ball in behind for Iwasa is well read by Eric Dick. He had to as well, as Iwasa was past all the Sporting defenders. Good idea from Nishaw. Time running out on the Rangers here as they're looking to extend that unbeaten streak at home. Looked like Barry was in an offside position, but the referee's flag stayed down. Bijev just toe poking that one forward. He wanted a touch off a Ranger player. It wasn't given. Here again come the Rangers. Haven't really had a clear-cut opportunity since they drew within 1 goal through Haji Berry. It's a wonderful diagonal though, and Colton Storm trying to sprint past Gomez. He stands up to the challenge again. He's got to be up there for man of the match. You've got a guy that scored 2 goals, but Shannon Gomez has been immense at the back.
Certainly has been, and now
Iwasa with the first-time ball. And he finishes it off at the back post. Christian Isley has surely secured all 3 points for Sacramento Republic.
And as SPR pushed forward in search of an equalizer, this was always going to be the concern. How about that ball from Cameron Iwasa sliding it across the face of goal? It's a simple finish from Isley. At least he makes it look simple. Side footing it past Derek Dick. 3-1 Sacramento, you'd have to say. A strong performance tonight from the visitors. Ultimately worthy of 3 points.
Christian Isley in his 7th start gets his 3rd goal, and Iwasa might have heard me talking about the man of the match. He might have just sealed that up with his assist. He's got a 4th assist. Should move him into the team lead to go along with now his 9 goals on the season. 2 goals and an assist here tonight for Cameron Iwasa. And somehow it always seems that players against their former clubs step it up. Certainly Cameron Iwasa has done that here this evening.
And it's been a classy showing from Cameron Iwasa. It's one thing to record 2 goals and 1 assist. It's another to do so in the way he has. He hasn't been overly celebratory with any of his goals. He's come in here with a lot of respect for his former employers. I think there's a lot of mutual respect there between Iwasa and Swope Park Rangers, and tonight he has put on a show, and he's the big reason Sacramento is in the position they're in right now, up 3-1.
Tator just carrying that one forward from his center back position. Bijev shrugging off the challenge from Hernandez. Sacramento can really just take the air out of this one. Try and switch play through Clementa. Storm was there to head it out of bounds. We're moving into the last few seconds of regulation as it ticks on into and past the 90th minute. We'll have 4 minutes of added time here in the second half. 4 minutes for the Rangers to try and grab 2 goals. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 USL season and bonus content from around the league by subscribing to the league's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/USL. Goalie to goalie here as Cohen just smashes it forward. Anywhere will do for Sacramento Republic. They try and ice this game out in the sizzling July heat in Kansas City. That's not what the Rangers want. It'll drift all the way out of play. And Sacramento will just eat up a little more clock with a substitution here.
Substitution.
So there is confirmation of the substitution. Quincy Butler checking into the game. He's making his first appearance this season with Sacramento, so good note for them, and he replaces third goal scorer Christian Isley.
Not a bad showing from Christian Isley tonight. This is a Sacramento team, as we've discussed, it's struggling to score goals. 4 goals in their previous 8 games, 3 tonight. Isley getting on the score sheet. Didn't start on Saturday in the scoreless draw against Real Monarchs, but he's come on tonight, put in a very active shift. Got that 3rd goal for Sacramento that looks to be the one that has killed off the game, and now we see Quincy Butler, a product of the Sacramento Republic FC Academy. Good to see the Academy program in the works there. Sacramento.
That's a nice moment for Quincy Butler, making his debut for Sacramento Republic. Joined as a 15-year-old in 2017, so he makes him 16 years old. 17th birthday coming up in September. Nice to see Sacramento native, and here he is coming into the box. Quick little step over. A nice layoff for Bijev. Bijev, Sacramento, I'm searching for a 4th here. Dick will get it quickly restarted. Cruz now on the ball. Drops deep to pick it up. Stands one up over the top for Barry. Inch perfect, too, onto Barry's chest. It's a good first touch. Barry creates space for the pass to Belmar. Belmar now looking for space for a cross. Dives around one and a second. Belmar, edge of the box. Well defended as Blackwood was trying to get it on the end of that cross.
How good is that for Mr. Belmar? Terrific footwork. Although he's been good tonight, Belmar, the Rangers have not seen that enough, and it hasn't been a lack of quality from Belmar. They haven't quite been able to isolate him in as many instances as they would have liked to. And again, a lot of that has to be a credit to Sacramento for the way that they've managed this game away from home. A very professional and workmanlike performance from them. Some nights you simply aren't going to be your best, and I think that was the case tonight for SPR.
Hernandez trying to find some sort of consolation there, cutting it towards the spot, but it's again well defended by Sacramento. Stood up for Butler. He can go one-on-one here. And Lewis just barging through the back of the youngster. And that will be the final act of the game. Sacramento Republic snap a 15-game unbeaten streak at home for the Swope Park Rangers. It was almost a year since their last home loss. Sacramento Republic snapped their winless streak with a fantastic performance here today. They win 3-1. Your thoughts, Sam Cobbs?
It's a huge result for Sacramento, isn't it? They leapfrog Swope Park Rangers in the standings, get an elusive victory. They had been winless in 5 straight in all competitions, so Simon Elliott's team will be delighted to get back into the victory column. And then if you're Swope Park Rangers, I don't think you'll be overly worried about this performance. At the end of the day, it just wasn't the best from the home team. Still in playoff spots. At the end of the day, we saw some good moments of individual quality certainly going forward. So for Paulo Nagamura's side, it's on to the next one. Rangers are in a busy stretch of games right now, Carter. 5 games in 18 days. They'll have the opportunity to bounce back quickly Saturday night at Portland Timbers 2.
So it's 3-1 thanks to that man, Cameron Iwasa, 2 goals and an assist. That's the full-time score here in Kansas City, Kansas. Stick with us. We'll be back for all the highlights and analysis. The Sacramento Republic win by a score of 3-1. Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park, where the full-time score, Sacramento Republic FC 3, Swope Park Rangers 1. Sacramento snapping an impressive 15-game home unbeaten streak by the Rangers. And Sam Cobson, like you said, it'll be a quick chance for the Rangers to bounce back from this one.
Off to Portland this Saturday for the Swope Park Rangers in 10 of their last 16 USL matches here at home. So certainly nothing to panic about if you're the Swope Park Rangers. And then if you're Sacramento, you've got to be delighted in the way that they've bounced back tonight. In particular, a very strong showing, for my money, certainly worthy of all 3 points.
Looking at the full-time stats and the numbers that tell us a little bit about the picture of where we're at. And 18 shots for an away team. That's an impressive tally for Sacramento Republic.
Very, very rarely, if ever, will you see a team come in here not only outshoot Swope Park Rangers, but outpossess them, as Sacramento Republic has done tonight, and that was ultimately the recipe for success, wasn't it?
Certainly was, and that's a succinct and well said by Sam Cobson. They outshoot the Rangers, outpossess them, and they get all 3 points. Sacramento Republic, for the time being, jumping ahead of the Swope Park Rangers in the USL Western Conference standings. Well, for everyone here at Children's Mercy Park, Jordan Burrell, Jason Briley, and the rest of our fantastic crew back in the truck. For Sam Cobson, I'm Carter Augustine. Thanks for watching this evening as the Sacramento Republic come into Kansas City and emerge with all 3 points. 3-1 the final score, Sacramento over the Swope Park Rangers.
United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.